Hello, hello, hello. I'm making a video in the afternoon and the sun is shining in from the side and it feels good on my head. I like it. But I don't want to get too much sunlight exposure on my skin. So I better turn around like this here. This is better. I hope the sunlight doesn't shine into the camera, because then the ET spaceship would appear again, coming from there, as it always does in photos and videos. See, if I have too much sunlight coming in from the sun, then it will do these amazing, it would create these amazing formations. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, it is nice out here right now, very nice, and the birds are up in that beautiful spruce. There are so many birds living in that beautiful spruce, huge spruce. I love that spruce. I hope it always stays there forever, because so many birds go into the crown of that beautiful tree and they sing. And earlier there was a crow or a raven, and they make such interesting sounds all the time. When they feel good, they make these gargling sounds. When they feel really good and full of humor, then they make sounds like gluk 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 and duru 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 duru. And it sounds to me really happy sounds. And I hope that the world stays good for the birds. There's a bird in the apple tree making beautiful sounds, very high-pitched sounds. Very nice. It's real nice right now, the blue gourd. Very nice. Look at the beautiful sky, beautiful clouds. Absolutely gorgeous. There's a dinosaur baby in the clouds. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about psychology, as always. Earlier I ranted a whole lot. I was angry. But it comes and goes all the time, Very, very angry. When I get very angry about injustice, so then I have to rant it out, either in the video or just talking to my computer in the dining room, and it's okay to do that. It's perfectly okay to do this. It's very healthy to do that. To rant into your computer. You never know who might listen, some hater, some hacker, some pedophile, right? They're all out there. They are on the prowl for children. That's what they are. Okay, so they are the cougars. They are the real cougars of today's era. Okay, so I'm gonna call them cougars from now on. Those predators, okay, those child predators. The kind of stuff I've already seen, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just so incredibly sad. Jeff Bezos with that Alexa instrument that he has. That there was a pedophile that spied on an innocent child, some random child, in her bedroom, making her feel real scared and uncomfortable. All of this painful to see. And much worse, and I don't want to go there, much more horror, and it just makes me have OCD. It's so awful. I cry every day for the innocent beings, particularly for the elephants and the rhinos, particularly for their babies, and pig babies that come into this world. They're full of energy and joy, and they're goofing around, and they don't realize what the mother is actually going through in the gestation crate. And the mother doesn't want to burden the children with her sorrow. She tries to be as upbeat as she can be. Caught, trapped in this body cage where she can't even turn around. She can't move at all. And the children, the babies, climbing over her and around her. The babies, they fit through those bars. They're running around. At least they get to run around a little bit there. It's just heartbreaking, so heartbreaking. Even in Germany, on the bio farm, on the Bioland, Bauernhof, I went to one time. And I just went there to spend a day there and get to pet the animals. And the little boy, he said to me, was real concerned. He took me into the pig barn, and he said he was like 8 years old, and he said he's real worried. That beautiful soul, being trapped in there on that farm with the callous, greedy parents, and nowhere to go. And he saw in me right away an ally. He saw it. Advanced souls see other souls that have a few lifetimes behind them. And he said, come with me into the barn. I have to show you the pigs. I don't know what to do about this. My parents they're putting them in small cages, and then they don't even get to become 1 year old, and they slaughter them. And I just stood there. I didn't know what to say. I was so shocked about all of this. I mean, I already knew, of course, Of course they call it animal husbandry, and when they raise animals to slaughter them and exploit them and all of this. But it's not okay, and even that is not to real original standards long time ago, where the animals were roaming free and then unsuspecting, at some point at age 2 or whatever, some butcher would come and they would bring them into the butcher room, but to make sure the other ones don't know what's going on. But the other ones, they always know. They always figure that out. And can you imagine how much they feel grief over their best friend that is then taken away from the herd and brought into the slaughter chamber, and how much they fight for their lives, how much each pig fights for their lives. They stamp their hooves against the threshold of the door. They scream into the sky. And the worst is the way they have to live today in factory farms. That's the absolute worst, where the mother can't even turn around herself. And they have fear in their faces. They're full of fear. The eyes are full of fear and sorrow and worry. The worry of the mother. I see it in their faces. The worry of the mother. I see that there's an intelligent being, as intelligent as a chimpanzee. And the look on her face, I mean, just like as Australopithecus, like one of the the pre-Neanderthal. I mean, that same brain size, the same facial expression of grief and worry for her children. She's not even worried for herself. She knows what fate awaits her. She knows what this reality is all about, that she can't turn around. That's her life. She's like surrendered to it. And some of them are not surrendered. Some of them are fighting. Some of them are chewing on those metal bars, hoping to open that gate. It's unbelievable. It's unspeakable cruelty. The fear in their faces, the fear in the mother pig's eyes, the fear for their children. That's the worst there is, just like the bear mother in the gallbladder harvesting laboratory. The worry for her child. That's the worst there is. Nothing is as bad as that. As the fear of the mother, of the fate of her children. That's the absolute worst. This is horror, this is exploitation, it's cannibalism. It's hell. That's what it is. Okay. And my message to the world is over and over and over and over and over again. Help. Help. Do what you can to help. Sign petitions. Go raw food, whole food, vegan. I have done it. Okay. I'm fully whole food vegan. I mean, it's probably very difficult to be completely raw food vegan. I have tried this, was actually very good for me. I was able to heal inflammatory bowel syndrome with that. I did it for 3 weeks. Works really well. I was sleeping better. Everything was healing up. But our food addictions are so intense. They are so intense. And then Paul has it really bad with food addiction, really bad. But he's not eating meat either anymore. So it's really good. It's really great. We made great progress with this. Really good. It wasn't easy at all. So, but once in a while I eat chicken eggs. I mean, I don't know what else to do. My body is obviously craving it. My nervous system needs it. I'm German. I have the genetics of a meat eater. This is not easy at all. This is a very difficult phasing out. Very, very difficult for people with German ancestry or Northern European ancestry. Very, very difficult. But it's possible. We can do it. Okay? Follow your heart. Follow your conviction of knowing what you have to do to make the world a better place. And I would give my life to make the world a better place. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the absolute first thing you have to do, if you have any kindness at all inside of you, is do not eat pig meat anymore. Do not buy meat from pigs. Do not buy a pizza with pepperoni slices on it, or whatever it's called. There's pig meat in it. This is a jumble of different meat, roadkill, everything. Everything is mixed in that. Okay, and I've eaten it myself, and I know it's addictive. It's highly preserved with salts and all kinds of spices and stuff. Okay. I mean, you can make human meat taste incredible if you make salami out of Philip Jones. Make a salami out of Philip Jones salami. You could do that and make it taste really, really good, really gourmet, you know. So, but I'm just showing him a mirror because that's how he talks, and much worse, by the way. So much worse. He will say he is a carnivore, and he will always come and show me how much meat he eats, and he's proud of it. He thinks that's masculine, and he would say things like, I don't know who these people are, but I don't even know who I'm addressing this to, but the haters out there, all the haters worldwide, okay, they are meat eaters, and they will say, and when we don't have animals anymore, then we will eat you, the vegans. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my gosh. No. The vegans, they will eat you. Yes, they will. Okay. Trust me. Because they are doing it for ethical reasons. Okay? So when Armageddon hits, okay, it's right around the corner. Okay, you voted for it, you brought it on. Okay, if you vote for it again, it's gonna happen for sure. It's guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed. If you vote for Armageddon a second time now, then you get what you deserve. Okay, you will. Okay, this is for sure. This is for certain. Because then the vegans are getting their knives ready. The vegans will sharpen their kitchen knives, and they're not gonna hunt you because they're against hunting. But if you invade their house and threaten them, they will come with their sharpened kitchen knives and they will put you under on their wooden butcher table that they normally only use to cut herbs up. You know, so yeah, they will do that, and that is the altar of the vegan, the conscientious vegan Good Samaritan. And that Good Samaritan shrugs their shoulder and says, well, they brought it on, okay? They come after us, we will come after them. And then it gets pretty gnarly. There's an animal in the brush. I don't know what kind of animal is in there. Some kind of rat, maybe? So there is a large animal in there. Yes, maybe a bird or a rat. I don't know. Hello. Show yourself, baby. There are apple tree branches that go all the way into that multi-species brush. There are many different plants growing in there. Argentinian pampas grass, and blackberry, and morning glory, and manroot. Manroot. And the apple tree has a large branch with a real large apple there on there. And we will pick that apple when the time is ready. Probably in early October I will pick that apple, unless it had already fallen. Sometimes rats go in there and they eat from the apples, and Paul gets mad because Paul says, that's too bad. These rats go up on those branches and then they eat a little bit from one apple and then they go away, and then they go to another apple, and they have to ruin another apple and another apple and another apple. They eat from 15, 20 different apples, and then all of these apples had been chewed into by a rat mouse. And then you have to probably take the knife and you have to cut the apple into slices away from where the rat has bitten into it, because we don't know what kind of pathogens the rat has in her mouth, so I don't want to take any chances with that. But, I am always happy to see the rat eat from the apples. I encourage them to do that. I always tell them, it's good for you, it's good for your health. Go ahead and eat baby, eat as much as you can from the good stuff. Okay, and they also eat the blackberries, and they haven't eaten, we have a tomato plant there now, and we already ate 2 tomatoes from that plant, and they taste fantastic, amazing, Cherokee purple beefsteak tomatoes, really, 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 really delicious. And once I plant that into my own buckets, the 5-gallon buckets, and I put my own potting soil on it, then the tomato will get really, really good nutrients, and the sun is descending now, and with the good nutrients from biodynamic composting system, then the tomatoes will even get bigger and taste even better. That's going to be awesome. I absolutely enjoy eating self-grown, homegrown vegetables and fruits. It's amazing. It's the best of the best of the best. So Armageddon is coming, that gives the homesteader type of people a chance. No, okay, the chance is this: you don't get the chance to eat Oreo cookies anymore. So that's your chance. That is a real opportunity. Okay, that is your chance to not eat Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars anymore at the gas station. That's your chance to not eat candy bars anymore, like Mars and Milky Way, which I used to binge on. I have not been eating candy now for like half a year. So I don't even want to eat. I see it in the store. I deliberately even walk by that aisle, and promptly now that I don't eat it anymore, now they have everything available that I've always been looking for. Toblerone in different variations, Lindt chocolate, balls, and all of that. The raspberry white chocolate, my favorites. I say, nice try, but I'm good. So I am not reaching for this anymore because I know better. It contains cadmium and lead, and you do not want to put that into your precious, precious, precious Giri and Sulki. Okay, no, you do not. Okay, absolutely not. You need to be good to your body. Okay, absolutely good. And so, but it doesn't work unless you find a substitute. Okay, you have to find a decent substitute for it, for everything that you're addicted to. So what's a substitute for candy bars, for chocolate? Carob powder. You make an oatmeal, you put oats, rolled oats, into about a third of your coffee mug. Then you put a tablespoon of carob powder in it, mix it in, and then you can put brown sugar in it, which is really good for you. That brown sugar is actually really good to mop up all the white sugar that comes often in food that you don't even know. So mops that up because it docks onto it, because brown sugar is whole sugar concentration. And so it actually helps you. It mops up all the free radical isolates of the sugar isolates, the white sugar isolates, and all the other isolates, and whatever comes with the environment, it mops that up. It's really great. And clay does that too, so earth clay. And diatomaceous earth does it too, and sodium and calcium bentonite clays. So very, very, very good for your health. Sandy, very important that you start on either sodium bentonite or calcium bentonite. Very, very important. I highly urge you to do this for yourself, okay? For your precious, precious, beautiful body and brain, okay? You have to do this. That is self-love, okay? Very important that we love ourselves. I love myself, okay? I come from a long history of toxic abuse, okay? And it was very difficult for me to find this equilibrium, and to find this self-love, and to be able to think clearly even, and to function efficiently in my life. So it took me a long, long time. It was all trial and error, and I have made tremendous mistakes on this path, okay? But we need to be aware of it. Let's not use the word forgiveness. Let's use the word self-love, self-understanding. I was confused. I didn't know better. Now I know better. Now I do it better. Okay, so yeah, it's a long journey. Okay, so don't say, oh, you're too far gone. Nobody is too far gone. Ever, 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 ever. I mean, that's my message to some of my haters that would argue like this. That's just a lazy cop-out argument because you don't want to change. That's why. Because it's inconvenient to change your habits, right, into good habits. But your body would definitely thank you for that. You won't need Viagra anymore if you do. So take my word for this. I can absolutely guarantee you this. I've never taken Viagra, but I've seen it on the internet from reports of people. That's usually men that reach out for something like this. And when they go raw food vegan, there's no more need for Viagra. And also there are people that said that pumpkin seeds, roasted pumpkin seeds, are the natural Viagra. All natural, not pharmaceutical. So the solutions are all out there, 100%. And these things, they will make you feel better. I mean, it's just like when you feel better, you will also be more potent, right? I mean, it's obvious. So, yeah, we need to take really, really good care of ourselves, of our bodies and brains. Very, very important information that I'm giving you here. And so I observe people a lot on the internet. I observe every day, and it's good to observe. It's very important to pay attention to all of this. And the more I observe and the more I learn, the more compassion I can feel for everyone, because I see where people are coming from. People are brainwashed, people think, and the corporate agenda makes it, they make it exponentially worse, okay, than it already is, than it already ever was. So, because they profit from it. They profit from people's fears, whatever side they target, whether it's the left or the right. They profit from people's fears. They profit from the division. So don't listen to any of these things. Don't listen ever to the corporate agenda, to Hollywood movies or propaganda films or whatever. Don't listen to any of that. Don't listen to the propaganda of the fake news. It's like all the news channels, including Fox News, is now also completely on the side of the corporate agenda. Okay. Tucker Carlson was Fox News' last honest reporter. They kicked him out. Now they have to face the consequences from that action, okay? Because now they don't have, I don't think they have any really honest and fair working reporter on there at all anymore. I think these people all have their price. They want to look like they belong to the right wingers, and maybe some of them are to some degree, but they're not on the side of, they're not necessarily on the side of justice. And even those that may be initially, they get some luring proposal from George Soros that says, hey, if you report it this way, in this particular way, just a little bit misleading way, right? Then I give you $1 million. So he has a lot of money to juggle around with. And they will say, yeah, okay, for that much money, he has his price, as Rockefeller said already. Yeah. And trust me, Rockefeller knew. He has seen these people from the inside out. Okay. He also was one of them. So, he really knew what he was talking about. But in his world, they were all on the take, okay, from the corporate agenda. In actuality, if you look at the entire demographic of the human species, not every single person, okay, obviously, there are 1% of the human species who say no thank you to bribes, okay? And they say yes to compassion and yes to kindness instead, and no to bribe money, no to the corporate agenda, okay? So 1%. Let's be very crystal clear about it. And for anyone out there who wants to become better, then be better, do better. That's all I can say. Start by voting for Donald Trump, okay? That's your start. You start there, okay? If you can't start anywhere else, can't do anything else the right way, the decent way, then at least start there. Vote for Donald Trump, okay? So then we can get a breather. Then the whole planet will get a breather. The whole planet will do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the planet will give us rain and put all the forest fires out just because you voted for Donald Trump. I'm not joking around. It's the truth. If you vote for Donald Trump, you will get the rain clouds bring you rain for your agricultural properties, okay, for your animals, for the whole planet, for all fauna and flora. Okay, that is the truth. And everything will recover. And one step after another, okay, in priority order. First of all, he's going to eliminate the wars around the globe. That's the very first step. Okay, very important. And he can do it. If he can do it left-handedly in one day, then anyone else could potentially do it in at least a week, right? They could right-handedly in 1 week, but they don't want to. They don't want to. The criminals that are in the White House right now, they don't want to end the wars because it makes them money. Anything for money. Anything. For George Soros, it's anything for money. I mean, literally anything for money. Okay. And that makes me very, very, very angry, to say the least. Very angry. I'm not going to get into the details of what I would want to do to George Soros and his son. Okay, not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it now. But I let your fantasy play it out. But anyway, so if we want to make the world better, do your part. Do your best. Okay? Vote for Donald Trump against your religion, against your peer group, against the man cave, whatever, of the Sharia law, male belly dancing cave group, whatever. Go against all of this. Okay, free those belly dancing boys from exploitation and human trafficking. It's all happening out there. I'm not joking. Okay. Free the children from the human trafficking rings. Free the organ bank prisoners that are waiting for to have their organs removed and embedded into someone else's body against their will. Okay? Free all of it. Free the pigs from gestation crates for all the good Samaritans out there. Free all the victims. Okay? And for those that are just too selfish, at least vote for Donald Trump. That's the least you can do. And then the very next step is, do not eat pigs anymore. Okay? Don't do it anymore. We have the power to shut the factory farm industry down. We do. We have that much power. Okay? So act on that power and don't eat pigs anymore. That's the very next step. These are highly sentient beings, like we are, and the cows are too, but the pigs are even much more intelligent. The pigs are more intelligent than monkeys. They're more intelligent than cows. They're more intelligent than goats. They're more intelligent than dogs and cats, and more intelligent than horses even. And horses are very intelligent. Pigs are even more intelligent. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, but it's not because they're more intelligent we don't want to do it. They are sentient beings. Don't eat them anymore. Don't eat any animal. Okay? But start there. Don't eat pigs anymore. Okay? And the next step will be, don't eat cows anymore. And then the next step will be, don't eat any more animal flesh meat. Okay? And for all the Asians out there, do not eat dogs and cats anymore. Just like pigs. Don't eat dogs anymore. Don't eat cats anymore. Don't eat pigs anymore. Don't eat horse meat anymore. Don't eat any of these living beings anymore. Okay? Then you're contributing to the world becoming a better place. I was grounding myself earlier and I was thinking about the 4 different life experiences by Tony Robbins. Long time ago I bought Tony Robbins books and audio cassettes. I still had this real old-fashioned Walkman, Sony Walkman. I don't buy from Sony anymore. They have decapitated a goat publicly to celebrate something of their company. That was it for me. It's not like, don't do it anymore if you want to keep your customers. No, they lost me as a customer for life for that. Even if they change their ways, they will never get me as a customer again. Never. That's a total betrayal right there. So that's a shit corporation if they do something like this. And I don't care where in the world they did it, Okay, so I think it was even in the United States. So, no, I hold these people accountable for that. And they should be held accountable. Yes, babe dog. He just came back from a walk. So, Tony Robbins has 4 experiences. Class 1 experience is the rarest form of all. Absolute rarest of all. It's like that happens like less than 1% of all in our existence. And that is when you're doing something for your life or others, you're doing something that feels really, really good, that is good for you, for your health, it's good for others, and it serves the greater good. That's class 1 experience. Okay, that's the best of all. That's what we should be striving towards. And that it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like sacrificial or difficult or anything. It doesn't feel like a burden, it doesn't feel horrible, it feels good. It's good for you, it's good for others, and it serves the greater good. Okay, so that's Tony Robbins' class 1 experience, very rare, but that's what we should do. That's how we should transform all the other experiences into. All the other experiences that happen way more frequently should be completely transmuted and transformed into class 1 experience. Okay? And we can do it, and I will explain. So, class 2 experience is way more difficult, of course, but that is our learning process. Class 2 experience is when you're doing something that does not feel good, that you hesitate to do, you procrastinate, you just push it further onto the back closet, right? Like, I'll do it later, I don't want to do it, I know I have to do it, but I don't want to do it. But it's good for you to do it. It's good for others, and it serves the greater good. Okay, so that's the class 2 experience from Tony Robbins. And I think this is very crystal clear, the way he laid this out. This is fantastic what he did. He's a very, very highly intelligent man. Very intelligent man. Listen to him. And this is such straightforward wisdom, that everyone can apply it. It's free from religion. It's just real straightforward reason. That's what it is. So, but class 2 experience is more difficult, it takes work. So you have to overcome your resistance, whatever it may be, to quit drugs, to quit alcohol, quit smoking. But it's going to be good for you, quitting all of that. It's going to be good for others. So if you don't participate anymore, you will be a shining example for others. And it's good for the greater good, because you don't pitch into the drug mafia. Okay? You don't cater to that anymore. So it will serve everything that's good on this planet and beyond. So we have to work on these things, okay? It's very important. Or doing exercise. Doesn't feel good, but it's good for you, it's good for others, because you give a good example to others and serves the greater good, You're doing something good for you, you feel better, you're nicer to others. It obviously has a good ripple effect on the whole world. So then we have class 3 experience from Tony Robbins. And that is the most common of all. That is the most common experience. That is when you are doing something that feels really good right now, but isn't good for you, isn't good for others, and doesn't serve the greater good. So, that is not good then, obviously, which is, anything from drug addiction, alcohol, human trafficking, pimping, you name it, all of the bad things, or eating the wrong food or whatever. Not exercising, taking pharma drugs, all of that is class 3 experience, okay? So, and that's a fact, I'm giving you a fact here, okay? Because it affects your liver, you give money to the wrong people, it hurts the greater good, it's just wrong all the way, it's really, really bad. They test drugs on animals. You don't want to be part of that ring, okay? So obviously you have to go from class 3 to class 2, but then also make sure that you transform that into class 1, where it actually feels good. That's why I say you have to, if you're chocolate addicted, you have to switch that over you have to quitting that, making that a good experience, not just class 2 experience where it's like difficult. No, you have to make this into something that's very pleasant, like substituting with a healthy product like carrot powder, okay? So then you have a very, very wholesome meal that is whole food, vegan, oatmeal with carrot, brown sugar, and I put coffee creamer in it. That is more like class 3 experience, but I don't know what else to do. I have to use the Walmart coffee creamer that I put in. Walmart coffee creamer is light years better than all the other coffee creamers because they are more ethical. They make sure that the stuff doesn't come from exploitation. So I hope Walmart stays that way on that course. Okay, so they have a good CEO right now. So I hope he stays. I hope this stays on the right track forever. So that I'm customer for life for Walmart. Okay, I believe in their products. I believe in their ethics. They're great. And they had good people over the years. They had very, very good people. Sam Walton started it. He was a very good person. Hillary Clinton was on that board. And I do believe Hillary Clinton is a good person. Everything that you hear on the internet, that you have been hearing on the internet, that the slander against Hillary Clinton, those are lies. Okay? And I refuse to believe it. And if it's not a lie, then that would be infinitely sad. But I don't believe it. Those are blatant, in-your-face lies about a politician that the corporate agenda was afraid of, terrified of. How come we don't hear anything anymore, right? How come no one talks about Hillary Clinton anymore? How come nobody makes memes against her anymore? Why? Because she's not a threat anymore to the corporate agenda. She stepped out of that. Okay. She's really sick and tired of this whole show, of this shit show of politics. And Al Gore is too. And those are good people. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, those are very good people. Okay, so for a while I was like, oh, that'd be awful if that's true, but I don't believe it. Absolutely not. No, she was in the staff of the Walmart executives, and she has contributed a lot of good to that corporation. And that's why it's such a strong corporation that is really interested in customer satisfaction. Not like Amazon, who Jeff Bezos brags about, customers, you have to cater to the customers. Even if you woke cater, that backfired on him. So, but, that's just trying to get customers, trying to get votes. That's how these things work. Okay, it's not really for the customer. If it really was for the customer on Amazon, they wouldn't have these clickbait these trap bait clicks. trip, bait, click, you accidentally click the wrong thing and boom, you are now signed up automatically, instantly for Prime. And the bill will keep coming. You will have to pay, right? Unless you straighten that out right now up front. And you have to be angry, or they're not going to remove that Prime membership from your account. Okay, you have to you have to stand up for yourself. And before you click anything on that website, you have to take a magnifying glass, and you have to look at every fine print there is, and every fine print click accidental trap, right? That can be clicked so easily. Oh my goodness. So if he really cared about the customers, he wouldn't have these click traps on there. So that made me so incredibly mad that I had the Kindle. I wished I had not fallen for this. I mean, the Kindle, now I had some really great books on there, but the books are overpriced. And I have my Mozart on there, and I have Dr. Bruce Lipton's books on there. So this is good. I have Thich Nhat Hanh's books on there. This is great. But I'm not going to buy any more books from them, and I'm not going to buy any more music from them. That's just a total rip-off. That's what it is. I can get music also on the internet. For example, CBL. They made it public domain. They're two Swedish men. They make this amazing computerized music. It's amazing music, and they even offer it for free. So, I mean, those are great people. They have a good heart. But you can get any music on YouTube for free while you're on the internet. So you can't download it. Or for downloading, you're gonna have to get membership. Whatever. It's all so wrong, all of that. But anyway. So that's how these things work, okay, in the world, with corruption, okay, and all these lies that are going on in the world, and all of that could be healed, okay. We could heal this, we could make a paradise, but people like Jeff Bezos, they want to have it all for themselves, so that they can have their gold digger and their yacht, all of that, right? He wants it all and more. Yes, he wants it all for himself. That's a greed critter. Okay, I can't say it any other way. So I am boycotting Amazon. Will not buy from Amazon anymore because that made me so incredibly mad. So I had to argue with them. They tricked me on the Kindle. I accidentally clicked something on that Kindle page with all the buttons there. And if he cared about the customer, if you click a button, it shouldn't automatically sign you up for some shit, okay? Where you then have to go and get real mad and threaten with the Better Business Bureau or something like that. You shouldn't have to be put through this as a customer if they really cared about the customer. So they don't care about the customer. He deserves a fat cake in the face. That's what I would want to do if he ever gives a presentation where I'm invited. I will be right there with my cake. That's for Jeff Bezos. I'm a super fan, right? And everyone smiles, yeah. And then in the end of that braggery on stage that he's doing, I will come with the cake and say, I have a cake for you. In front of thousands and millions of people. I would love to do that. That would be so good. My goodness. He has been waiting for that and begging for it for years and years and years. Okay? I used to like him. Not anymore after I saw all of that. No, it's not okay. Okay, but that's the majority of humans. They're like that. They have their price, they're corrupt, And it gets from bad to worse and exponentialized, as in the case of Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. So, and George Soros is even more exponentialized. George Soros is exponentialized by 3. Now that really takes it to another level. When someone, he's not even from this country, he's from Greece. He comes here, this fat ass, sits himself in here like a maggot in the fat, right? The maggot in George Soros's own fat, right? And he corrupts the entire government. That's like treason. I mean, I view this as an international war crime, what George Soros has done to the United States. I'm serious. Yeah. Blue God agrees with me. 5555. There you have it. Okay? I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth, what I'm saying. So, yeah, let's get back to Tony Robbins. Let's change the subject. This is so depressing. So, anyway, then we have, so I talked about class 3 experience, which is the most common of all. Something that feels really good. The class 2 is something that doesn't feel good, but everything's good. And class 3 is something that feels good on, in that moment, okay, but it isn't good for you, it isn't good for others, and it doesn't serve the greater good. So then we have another experience. That happens also more often than you think. And that's called the class 4 experience, according to Tony Robbins, established, ordered, created by Tony Robbins. Very excellent, okay? Class 4 experience is when you do something that does not feel good, is not good for you, is not good for others, and does not serve the greater good. Now, you would think, how can something like this, are people stupid? It's like what Elon Musk said. Why would you vote for a crippling economy and world war, right? Why? Isn't that a class 4 experience? Isn't voting for Harris and other shitters and shysters, isn't that class 4 experience? It doesn't feel good. It's not good for you. It isn't good for others, and it doesn't serve the greater good. Okay. That is voting for the mafia, voting for the criminals that are in the White House right now. It's a class 4 experience. Yes, it is. Okay. But the reason why it was sold to you by the very criminals as something good or something cool, that's because they use your psychology. Do you understand how that works? And they apply this now worldwide. People that have nothing to do with the United States are now, they want to be cool, so they want to fit in, right? They want to be part of Sharia law, baby. Okay. Well, let's see if Kamala Harris wants to put a chador over herself. Like, the hardcore chadors, the ones where your eyes are covered with some kind of mosquito screen or some kind of prison bar mesh. And you can only see through, your pupil can only see through the prison bars. I mean, it couldn't be more ironic. It could not be more metaphorical also, the whole thing. And more literal. I mean, it's the whole thing, right? It's metaphor, it's literal. You're literally in prison when you do this. I mean, she's like from street slut, whore, prostitute to chador with prison bars over her pupil. I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so that's why Elon Musk asks the public, how can anyone be so stupid to vote for world wars and a crippling economy, and Armageddon and anarchy. How can anyone be so dumb to do this? The question is there. This is a legitimate question to ask. Okay? I think people should ask themselves that. And they should question themselves. Really question. Okay, anyway, peace out.